friends, it's Fumblin, and we're back today with another Tier List Tuesdays. And today we're going to be doing recoveries. We're going to be tiering from best to worst on who's got the best recovery off stage. And it's going to be a good one. This should be pretty informational and pretty fun to do. We're going to start with SpongeBob from the top of the list and go all the way down to the bottom right to Billina, and that's gonna be the order we do. Let's introduce you to the tiers over here. We're doing the it's a bird, it's a plane meme. Number 1, it's Superman, and then 2, it's a UFO, because UFOs are crazy, right? And then it's a plane, and then it's a bird. And then at the very end, it's dead, which just means like if they're off stage, they're just dead. So let's keep going here. We're gonna start off with SpongeBob. Now, SpongeBob has an absolute S tier recovery. SpongeBob has almost everything going for him. He's got a projectile that's really good. He can wave bounce it back to get the momentum. If you don't know what a wave bounce is, you can reverse your momentum if you're flying in one direction. You can reverse it with some projectiles. SpongeBob's bubble is one of them. So that's really good. Even if you don't have a momentum cancel, you can do that. He's also got the down special to momentum cancel. The up special is disjointed multi-hit. It's pretty hard to do anything about unless you have a huge disjointed down air or you hit them from the side. The sweet spot is pretty good. The hand hitbox doesn't go far above ledge. Ultimately, just an incredible recovery all around just because of the up special, and the bubble is excellent. Patrick. I put Patrick in B tier. I think Patrick's recovery in this patch is incredibly good. It got a huge buff that makes it very, very powerful. It goes faster now, and it ends faster now. You pretty much can't hog ledge against Patrick at all. The only way to beat Patrick is to have a disjointed down air or try to hit them from the side with something disjointed, because if you don't, he's gonna most likely trade with you and grab you out of it. And he also goes really far. His up B does momentum cancel, which can be okay if you need to. It's pretty nice. So let's go to Sandy now, the last SpongeBob character. Absolute S tier recovery. One of the best in the game for sure, because you have 2 stages. Your up special that just goes straight up, and then you can cancel it at any point to go to the side or to go down. So you can go down to snap easier, or you can go to the side to get onto stage, or to cancel right at the ledge so you can ledge grab. It's excellent. The hitbox isn't amazing, I don't believe, but the fact that you can mix up your recovery with so many different angles and ways is awesome. If you land the second hit, you can cancel out of it, which is crazy. But the biggest thing is that it has 0 in lag. So if you up special and then you go into them from the side and it hits their shield, like, they can't punish it because you're already past them and you're already landed. It's crazy good with no landing lag. Another thing that Sandy can do is use her Nair Strong so that she can get a little bit of forward momentum. And I don't think this momentum cancels, but it's still very good to give you a little bit of a push and to get back on stage a little easier. Aang has the absolute best recovery in the game. Honestly, I should give Aang his own tier. It is, without a doubt, the best recovery. It's like comparing any recovery in Brawl to Meta Knight's recovery. It's just impossible. It is too good in every way. Let's talk about why. So the up special, it doesn't have a hitbox coming up, but it comes up so fast and ledge snaps so easily, and you can almost not read it at all. Up special from high up lets you glide so you can get pretty far, and you can cancel it at any point with a dive, which means that if they're trying to come up and punish you, you can hit them out of it. It's incredibly good because of that. You can't ledge snap with it, but it's a minor weakness. It's just basically an extra option that he's got. Airball gives him incredible airspeed. It is unrivaled in this game, the amount of speed you get with Airball. On top of that, even if you don't have a jump, you can jump out of an Airball if you turn around before you jump. There's a glitch to where it won't register, they won't like check for your jump, and you can just do another one. So he's basically gets 2 jumps in the air, instant momentum cancel with the down special Airball. Crazy speed. He can go all the way under the stage with no issue at all. And yeah, the up special just snaps so easily. There's just almost nothing you can do against it. It's absurd. The only weakness is that the only hitbox that he has while recovering is the little airball. But other than that, like, actually reading where he's gonna go at the right time is near impossible. You just have to guess, and it's too risky. You just probably want to ledge trap that character, if anything. And then Toph. Toph is a low tier with an amazing recovery. Toph's recovery can be excellent if you're able to recover high, because you can jump, you can air dash, and then you can up B, and you can cancel that with a down special, and you can put a platform under you, which gives you another jump, another air dodge, and another up special. So it's incredibly good because you basically get 2 recoveries, and you can kind of stall in the platform a little bit, charge your rock, see what they're trying to do. If they're trying to jump after you, you can rock and then punish them for it. It's incredible. The only real counterplay to her recovery is jumping and predicting where she's going to rock and try to grab her, or if she has to recover very low and she has to up B the stage without a down special, it can be pretty hard. So if you hit her out of it and she doesn't have her down special, she's very gimpable, but with it, she's an excellent character for recovering. Korra, I put Korra's recovery as C. It's pretty middle of the line. The best thing about it is that it's very quick and goes upwards. It's pretty hard to actually do anything about if she's at the right spot. Edge hogging is not really something you can do because there is a hitbox, but the hitbox is small. You can trade with it pretty easily. You can read where she's gonna go. She goes for down special since that's her momentum cancel move. So if you read that, you can get an easy hit on her because she doesn't have a lot of horizontal distance. It's mostly vertical. But her vertical recovery is pretty good. It's just, it does have its flaws still with the small hitbox, and the charge time isn't the greatest. So it's not bad, but it's definitely not one I would want to highlight as a good recovery necessarily. Zim has a duty recovery. Worst recovery in the game on this list. Worst down here. Because you don't have any way to stall your momentum except for your jump air dodge. You don't really have good hitboxes for trying to hit somebody if they're chasing you. You have up air, but they're just gonna down air you anyways because it just sends them up. The up special is very slow. The only hitbox that it has is below Zim, which really stinks when you're trying to recover low. If you're trying to recover high, it's okay. If you can catch somebody with the bomb, you can sometimes get back before they can recover from it, but it's so easy to just continue light daring Zim until they run out of juice. It's pretty susceptible to just someone jumping off stage and hitting you. Lincoln Loud is similar to Zim's recovery, but a lot better because the hitbox that it has is actually at the end of the up special. So that means that they can't ledge hog you with no invincibility because they will get hit, and they'll get hit away pretty good. They can even get spiked out of it. Also, his water gun is really good as a falling hitbox to just cover your landing, and you can cancel it out at any point. Pretty nice. He doesn't have any special way to moment cancel though, so he still has the same weaknesses as him, outside of the fact that if you're a little too late, his up B can hit you, so it's a little bit harder to edge guard him. Lucy Loud has a mid-tier recovery, a little bit above Patrick right here. It's not bad. It goes quite a long distance. If you're in the neutral mode, it goes super high. You can do a little stall under Jellyfish Fields, which is nice, but it can be red. But you have a lot of mix-ups with that. It's just got no hitbox coming up unless you're in the vampire mode. But the issue with the vampire mode is that it only goes straight. It only goes at a diagonal, and you can't really change anything until you start falling. And the hitbox is pretty easy to hit from the side, or if you have anything disjointed. It's one of the most predictable recoveries in the game, but she does have a lot of drift once she starts falling. So it actually, because of the distance and because of the drift, she's still a B tier good recovery, but it's just not a great recovery because of the hitbox and the predictability. Oh, and the teleport, if you have a teleport, it's absolutely amazing. You can momentum cancel with it if you do it right with your air dodge and keep your jump. And you can teleport past people if you are able to keep it for at ledge. If you can recover with just your up B and you make the ledge, she's so good at getting back on the stage if she has a teleport, but generally you have to waste it pretty early in your recovery. So a few more things you can do with Lucy is you can stall in the air with Bite, which is very fast, and you can spam it quite a bit. And this helps just get you a little bit more forward distance, or stall and wait for their legend invincibility to end or whatnot. You can also release your bats or go invisible when you're in vampire mode or in ghost mode. If you're in ghost mode and you're invisible, it can be very difficult for them to track you, especially if you're recovering high, because it's definitely difficult when the name is the only thing they have to go by and it just drops with no model. That can confuse people if you're recovering super high. But what is really good is the vampire mode release, because you release hitboxes above Lucy, which makes that recovery incredibly good. Plus, you get your teleport back when you do that, your normal teleport, so you get more distance out of that, and there's a little stall when you do either of these moves. The way to counter this is actually to do like a down strong on Lucy, because it'll reflect the bats, and it can spike her as well. But for those who don't know that or don't have time to set that up in a ledge guard, it can be really, really difficult to edge guard Lucy if she's got her bats. That's why she's still not the best, but that's one of the biggest things that carry her recovery to like a good mid-tier recovery. Leonardo has a fantastic recovery, mostly because it's massively disjointed on the sides. The hitbox is huge, it's a multi-hit. It has a hitbox all throughout his arms. He stretches his arms all the way out, it's so big. His head is covered a little bit by the hitbox, but it's not like disjointed there. So it's kind of a weakness. If you have a disjointed down air, you can or challenge it, or you can just trade with it. But the big thing that hurts is that this move is huge. It's multi-hit, it snaps pretty well, and it has 0 in lag. 0. If you land on stage just like with Sandy, you won't be punished, because the second you touch stage, you can immediately shield, you can immediately act into anything you want. So Leo can recover high pretty well, and his drift is incredible as well. So you're gonna see a lot of struggle against people trying to edge guard this character at a high level. It can be pretty difficult if the Leo knows what he's doing. Something that Leonardo can do also is get the momentum cancel with his down special. If he's in the air and does down special, he automatically goes into the dive kick, and the dive kick goes really far forward. It's kind of like Nigel's down light, but it goes really far forward and down. Momentum cancels. You can even go to the other side under the stage if you like to. It's a really great move. And I have Mikey now in the bottom of B tier. He's pretty good. His up special, it instant snaps the ledge, just like Tethers in Smash, but there is a reel-in time, so you have time to like react to it. If you're holding ledges of an opponent and you just like press back and downlight, it can catch Michelangelo and he's gonna die pretty early to that. If he has his jump, if he's able to keep his jump, and even if he gets down aired out of his up special, he can jump and do it again. That's always really nice to do. His down special is really good for falling with, so if he's recovering high and you just press down special, unless they have a sword, they're probably not going to be hitting it very easily without trading, and you can cancel immediately. It's safe on shield, it's incredible. But just off stage recovery, if you're close to ledge, you can snap really quickly and they can't touch it. But if they're on ledge, you're going to have issues if they're an expert at the timing that they need for it. It's difficult to time, but if you get the hang of it, his recovery becomes a lot less good. But it's still very, very good. It's very, very solid in the B tier. April has the last S tier recovery in my list, top 5. She has the best recovery when going high in the game, because when she goes high, she can drop her microphone, or her camera, that is, and just follow it, and you really can't challenge it much at all. It's kind of like Toph, except for instead of a rock, it's a microphone, instead of a rock, it's a camera, and it's just incredibly difficult to do anything about if she can go high. And her blimp goes incredibly high, so unless she's really low, she's probably going to go all the way around you to the top blast zone, and it's almost impossible to deal with. Her low recovery also isn't bad. If you find any moment where you're not being pressured, going to ledge immediately is pretty fast with her blimp once she starts gaining speed. And of course she can cancel out of her blimp with any attack that she wants. You can't cancel it with a jump, so that's the one weakness. But yeah, the way to beat her recovery is simply just, once you hit her once or twice off stage and she runs out of resources, she's done. She basically has one chance. It's kind of like Toph in that way. She has one chance to recover, and if she doesn't, she's just dead. But regardless, that one hit that you had to get on her is incredibly hard to hit. So that's why she's still a solid top 5 recovery here. Ren and Stimpy have a very similar recovery to Zim. There's 2 main differences. The main difference being, I suppose, the up special hitbox is huge and very long lasting, and if you get hit by it, you might just die. It can be very difficult to deal with as the edge guarder. Another thing that Ren and Stimpy could do that Zim cannot is wave bounce. They can wave bounce their log, and with that, they can actually reverse the momentum back to stage if they get hit hard, and because they're a heavyweight, they can get a lot of hard hits and still survive. So that's one big plus that Ren and Stimpy has over another rising up special like Lincoln's or Zim's, is the fact that they have that wave bounce to come back. Another thing that really separates this character's recovery is being able to counter. Now, Zim can throw out Gur and like Z-drop them and try to have a hitbox out, but it's not the best. You can just catch it. You're still forced to recover low. It's not the best anyways. But the counter is pretty good for getting out of the air. If somebody hits your counter, you can sometimes just like air dash through them after the counter hits. You have a little bit of time, or you can like snap the ledge from like going high. But if you're forced up special, you're pretty much screwed. And mostly what counter does is counter just mostly makes you go low. So it's a 50-50 you can go for. But another way you can land with Ren and Stimpy is actually doing the Dare Strong. And it does kind of go at like an angle forward, like a dive kick. It can be used to land out of the air, but off stage, it's gonna kill you. But again, it's something that you could do instead of the counter. Getting down from the air is not too hard with Ren and Stimpy. The hard part is recovering low. At the end of the day, Ren and Stimpy's recovery is still not that best. And in the same cartoon, Patter Toastman also has a recovery where if you're off stage, it's just dead. He did get a buff recently with the up special being able to drift back and forth. So you can kind of do like a Captain Falcon recovery where you up special inwards and then you drift back to ledge. It's pretty nice to do. It can be something that if they're not looking out for it can really throw somebody off, but once somebody gets used to it, they just gotta cover ledge and then cover your recovery. Your in lag when you hit the stage is pretty high, so you just recover that. The big thing that he has, though, other than that mix-up, is the fact that he has a really good momentum cancel with down special, and up special goes super far. It is very vulnerable. It does have a small hitbox, but you can counter it pretty easily because his trajectory is pretty predictable, even though you can mix it up a little bit. The distance does make his recovery better than the other two in this tier, but it's still not the best. Let's go for an A tier now. CatDog, a little worse than Toph recovery, but definitely in solid A tier, top 10 recoveries for sure, because even though there's no momentum cancels that CatDog does have, their up special is somewhat disjointed and really big and goes quite a bit above the ledge if you're recovering low, which means that if anybody's standing at ledge or if anybody's on ledge, they're gonna get hit. And if it trades, CatDog makes it back for free because they have a little bounce upwards when they do that. So CatDog's recovery, unless you're like edge guarding them from behind, like behind their up special hitbox where they raise their hand up and you have like a disjoint, like you can't, there's only a few characters in this game that can reliably challenge his recovery. And if you can't challenge it, if you don't have a hitbox that's good enough for it, CatDog just kind of makes it back for free every time, as long as they're within range of the ledge. So their recovery is excellent. Reptar is a C tier recovery, kind of in the middle there. His up special comes out frame 3. So if you try to challenge it and Reptar uppies early, it can hit you and you might die. So it's pretty scary to edge guard, although it's very predictable on where Reptar's going to go. You can just grab ledge and neutral get up, and when he's falling down really fast, he can't ledge snap if you do the neutral get up because you get the iframes on that. So it's something that you can do, and then you do neutral get up, and then once Reptar's butt hits the stage, you just grab them and throw them back off stage. With Reptar, it's a lot of rinse repeat when you're edge guarding him, but he does have a lot of distance and a lot of speed, and it can be very frightening because it can kill you if it hits. So his recovery is not the best, but it's something to look out for. It's something you have to learn how to do as the opponent, but his recovery is not too bad. Speaking of not too bad, Nigel Thornberry up here, 7th best recovery in the game in my opinion. Crazy recovery here because he's got multiple momentum cancels. He can momentum cancel with the down air, the light down air, and get a ton of speed back to stage, which he can cancel that into a jump or a up special and get so much distance. It's insane. He's got the worm, the side special, which cancels momentum and gives you some distance as well as some invincibility. So if somebody's trying to jump at you and you have your worm available, you just press it. And unlike with Toph's down special or the resource that you have to have on the blimp on April, you can spam it as much as you want. It gets a little slower the more you spam it. You can only do like maybe 2 off stage, but it's pretty good and you can just keep doing it if you get hit off. The up special ledge snaps really, really nicely, and it's really scary to deal with because just like with Reptar, it slams down so hard and it can kill you on or off stage. So yeah, his recovery along with, you know, all of his special moves and his down light, he gets so much momentum, he's making it back pretty easily. He's never dying because he doesn't have a momentum cancel available. He's always going to have something. It's really, really good. Helga's recovery, I did put in A tier. You might be looking at this and ask, why is Helga so much better than Cora in this list? And there's a few reasons. Up special charges for longer, which is sometimes bad, but in my opinion, a lot of the time it's good, because if they're grabbing ledge to get invincibility, you're going to force them off of it a lot easier if you're able to stall there a little bit. It rises a lot faster than Cora's. It has a much bigger hitbox, and it comes out much quicker as well, frame 5 after the charge up. So it's really hard to just go out and hit her because she's just going to smack you in the face. And she has a lot of variance on her height. Cora only can do 2 distances, I believe, while Helga can do any distance between low charge and max charge. So she's got a lot of variance there and a lot of drift as well. She can't do her double up special anymore. That was patched out, but regardless, it's still an excellent recovery. She does have a projectile to make it back, unlike Cora, since we're comparing the two. Her projectile can be wave bounced, like I described to this SpongeBob's bubble earlier. You can reverse your momentum to get back to stage, which is basically kind of like a momentum cancel, but a little better, and with a hitbox. So she can do that as well, which makes her recovery pretty solid. Danny Phantom is going to round out the A tier here, kind of middle here. Excellent recovery, a recovery that at the beginning of the game, everyone thought was really bad. But as Danny started, becoming good at the game, we started realizing that Danny has a ton of options. He can momentum cancel for free with the down special at any point that he wants, and it's also a good air stall a little bit, and it's really hard to punish because the hitbox is huge. He can up strong to stall his momentum downwards quite a bit. So much so that you can be at the left ledge and go like all the way to the bottom right ledge, like below the stage. You can just go to the other side if you need to. It's crazy. He's got a projectile to force somebody off a ledge, which is really good because his up special is his main weakness. It has a long startup, but once you are in the middle, you're teleporting, you're completely invincible. And if you touch ledge when you're ending your up special, it has no vulnerability frames, so you cannot 2-frame this like in Smash Ultimate. If he touches ledge, he gets back for free. And it has a hitbox at the end, which means that if you're trying to ledge hog him, it's not going to work. And you can't just do what you do with Reptar and just like neutral get up or roll off ledge, because he stalls for quite a bit of time there. So he's getting back to stage for free if you try to ledge hog him. However, the one thing you can do is try to jump off stage and hit him before his up special starts. If you don't, you're probably dead, so it's pretty risky. But with all the mix-up that he has with his up strong and his down special to just stall out, and his projectile, he can jump air dash, he ends up having a lot of mix-ups and can get that up special on that ledge when he needs it. Oblina is an excellent recovery, but not excellent enough. We are putting her down right in the middle, 11th place in the B tier. She's got like the most mid consistent recovery in the game. She's got her up special has a consistent hitbox all the way through. It's pretty nice, but it's still something that you can trade with. It's like a little mini Leo up special, except for it has in lag. It doesn't go as high. It rises slower. There's a lot of flaws of it, so you can easily trade with it and kill her eventually, even if she keeps spamming up special. Her down special is a really nice momentum canceling tool, and it sends her forward, and it has a hitbox, so that can be pretty good. It is predictable if you're waiting for it, but it is pretty good. So she has a nice momentum cancel as well as an average up special, and she can throw projectiles, which is always awesome to hit people at ledge. And you can even throw your sludge like at the ledge so they can't ledge trap you, because if you have your sludge at the ledge, you can just get back to the stage for free because you can just recover low and they can't sit there at ledge trying to hit you. So Oblina's got like a pretty damn average recovery, but that's not a bad thing in this game. That's an excellent thing. So definitely pretty mid recovery, pretty good recovery overall. Okay, that's my list here. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. We can have a nice conversation. I try to read everything, but yeah, this is a pretty solid list. I think I'm pretty confident in this. A lot of the S tier recoveries are crazy. You see, it's a lot of S tier characters for a reason. Hopefully you all had a good time watching this, and I'll see you next Tuesday for another fun list. Thank you all so much, and I love you. Bye!